Welcome to the best damn I'm wrestling sports shows. You're here with Gabriela Vasconcelos. I'm from Campinas, Brazil, and I've been on wrestling for 21 years.
And you got Reza Demaganian from South Arizona.
Scott Wynn coming to you from Southern California. Hi, Gabby. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you guys doing?
Good.
Good.
Good. So, Gabby, what got you into the sport?
I was invited. I used to do gymnastics, and apparently I looked strong at 12. And this other girl came to me and asked me to arm wrestle her. And she said, I knew it. I knew you were strong. I've been watching you for a while, which was kind of creepy. But then she got me into this table, which I didn't even know it existed. And everyone started feeling my strength. And they were like, she's strong. She's going to be a champion. And 3 weeks after that, I won our state championship.
Wow.
Open class.
Very good.
Open for ages, right? And I was 60 kilos, I guess.
Yeah, what year was that?
2000.
2000.
Yeah, you said you've been arm wrestling 21 years. Yeah.
Yeah, I had like almost a year break, 2009, and half of 2010 when I was in my last year of college. But also the main reason was because I had a lot of injuries in my shoulder and I wasn't feeling well practicing it. Like, it wasn't fun because so many things happened in my life. But then I got back to it in 2011, and I'm here since then.
No,
nonstop.
did you have a coach, or did you have like training partners in the beginning, or how did you advance so fast?
Yeah, I had a coach. They were very pioneers in all strength sports here in Brazil, and they were competing, like they have been competing on wrestling for a long time. And they coached me from 2000 to 2008. And then in 2012, at the end of 2012, I changed because they also retired and everything was changing. Like the team I had, they didn't exist anymore. And then, yeah, now I train Peter ever since. And we have like our team. Sometimes, actually, until last valid year, 2019, we were competing for a city, like a neighbor city here from Campinas. It's called Indaiatuba, but we are not sure if we belong there anymore. But yeah, but he trains me even when we go there. So we are our team, basically. Like we have training partners as well, but most of the time we train by ourselves.
You and your husband?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Campinas is what, about 45 minutes to an hour and a half away from Brazil, Sao Paulo, depending on traffic.
Yeah, it's like 100 kilometers.
Yeah. So is there a large team in Sao Paulo as well, or?
Oh, they used to have, but now just like few people, but not really together. They don't have a strong team. Here in São Paulo state, our cities like Campinas and Indaiatuba and like our neighbor cities, we are stronger than the capital. Like we have the best athletes.
And then where do you guys host your nationals typically? Is it near Sao Paulo? Is it Campinas, or?
It depends, but usually around Campinas more than São Paulo, because São Paulo is a very big city and it's expensive. So it's harder to get a venue and to get cheap hotels, and it's so big that like driving around is crazy. I bet you've been there, right?
Yeah,
Reza?
I went there last year. It was hectic. I was going to Guarujá, what's the beach?
Guarujá.
Yeah, we were driving from Itu to Guarujá, and my girlfriend's father's like, don't drive through Sao Paulo. Here's a map. Go this way around Sao Paulo. And then I made the wrong turn and I ended up in Sao Paulo. And I was like, oh, I gotta go to the bathroom, man. Oh my God. So we pulled over
Yeah, there
and it
were
was near a favela, and it was interesting. Very interesting. So talking about arm wrestling in Brazil, what is the state of arm wrestling in Brazil? Is it growing? Are there more arm wrestlers coming to
yeah. São Paulo,
clubs?
the state of Brazil is a wrestler, and also like the city where I mean like Campinas, and then we have all these small cities around.
Yeah.
This is where you find the best. So our state championship, it's almost as hard, or sometimes even harder than like the nationals.
Wow. And how many athletes would you say right now there are in Campinas?
Okay, that's a hard question. What's thinking Campinas mais ou menos? Progressistas. I think not that many though. Those are the ones that have a lot. We have like around 50 or something, but then we have like another 50 in a town that is like 20 minutes away, and another 30 in a town that is like 50 minutes away. So
Now I've also seen, so you guys are hosting WAF events in Brazil. Are you guys also hosting IFA events there as well?
no.
No. And then I've also
No,
heard ZT arm wrestling. What's ZT arm wrestling?
oh, it was like a league
Okay.
founded by Eduardo Tietê.
Okay.
He founded it, I don't know how long ago, but it was kind of an IFA affiliated here before IFA even started. But then they affiliated themselves to PAL and IFA, but it kind of ended because the person who was behind it kind of quit arm wrestling. So now there's no ZT anymore. But honestly, there's kind of a dictatorship here around leagues, and anything that is not related to WAF and our national federations kind of boycotted somehow.
So you're going to WAF Worlds?
Not by the athletes, but we kind of, it's like what's happening in the world. Like if you choose one, you can choose both.
You can
So
get banned. You can get banned from the other party.
It's terrible.
Yeah, I was actually talking to Scott, and I was saying it would be a shame that if you competed at WAF and you got banned from IFA and IFA survived, then you could no longer compete. And if you competed at IFA and WAF survived and you got banned for competing at IFA, and IFA disappeared, you'd have no potential career in the future. So it's difficult for athletes right now to know the direction to take themselves because they can be banned from potentially competing in the future.
Exactly. I don't like this at all, and I don't think it's good for anyone because
No.
it stops our growth in our careers. Like
Exactly.
it choose a path that there's kind of not many options in either side. Like you just have to stick with whatever you chose for like a very long term option to like decision to make, right? I wouldn't want it to be like that.
No,
Yeah.
it's terrible that it is like that, that they're making us pick one or the other at this point in the arm wrestling stage, where arm wrestling really hasn't developed, at least here in the US, it still hasn't become a real professional sport. So dividing us up so soon doesn't make sense. It shouldn't do that.
And also, I think having like a health competition between events, it's good. You don't want people to choose you just because they don't have options, but because you're a good event or because you provide a great experience for them and they want to have your title, not because it's mandatory or because it's either or. Like it was supposed to be like a free of choice. Like you should be able to
You should have, you should have a freedom of choice without fear of being banned from competition.
Yeah.
This is very true.
It's like for leaders, it's more about respect than fear, right?
So
Yeah.
Gabby, talking about WAF, you're going to Worlds, correct?
Yes, I plan to if Georgia opens to Brazil.
Well, currently they have a restriction for travel from Brazil to Georgia.
Yes,
Oh,
Wow.
but I'm hoping they change it and that we will have more vaccinated people so they can allow us to.
kind of changing topic. How is the state of Brazil with COVID?
Terrible. Yeah, our vaccination, it's going slow, but I don't know. We are under 20% of people vaccinated with the 2 doses. And yeah, I think it's gonna be good when I hope that by the end of the year, everything it's kind of better or
Somewhat.
much better because it's very bad. And we have a great system of public health system that could vaccinate us in no time, like before every other country, but we don't have the vaccines. So that's what's slowing us down.
Yeah. Yeah, I was gonna actually talk about your arm wrestling career as well. How many championships or titles do you currently hold right now?
I have 6 world titles in junior classes. So there are 3 in each arm and WAF worlds, right? And then I have 24 and senior classes,
Wow.
12 in each arm.
She's losing count.
I don't know how to divide 24 by 2.
And over the years, who was the first big victory, athlete or competition that you had, like the one that just really sets you apart in your mind?
The one person or the one competition?
Whichever occurred first, like the first big competition you won or the first big match. It could be either or.
Yeah, my first world title, I was 15 and I won. Yeah, it was 2003. I won both arms, junior and senior classes at WAF Worlds, and that was very interesting for me. I valued that back then, but I know for sure that I value it a lot more today, knowing how hard it is. But I kind of was a teenager. I didn't know much back then. But I have also like 2013 when I went back on winning. And I think that my first super match against Sarah and the last one obviously, but the first one was my first super match ever. I had never pulled her before. We were in different weight classes and I was completely lost of what a super match was like. And the training was completely different and I didn't know. All that involves the matches, like in between the matches, that I think it's so important today. I didn't know back then and I didn't have anyone with me. But
so
now
how would you train differently for a tournament versus a super match?
For tournament, you don't prepare, I think, for anyone especially. You have to be prepared to everyone, but mostly to be in your best performance, like how in your best shape ever, and be ready for everything and for everyone. And you don't know what you're facing, right? But when you go to a super match, you study your opponent and you try to figure what is the best or whatever works best against that person, even if it's not your first option of way of pulling. And I've done that with Sarah our last match because I knew that she had like longer arms and bigger hands, and I was trying to work towards not letting her apply her qualities into my weaknesses, and it worked. And also I knowing WAL rules, I also studied a lot of their rules and trained a lot on straps because I knew that would happen. And I think it paid off, but I didn't train the same way for Worlds like a month later because, okay, that was my niece. and I think the endurance is different. You have less resting time between the matches, and knowing what you're facing makes a difference in training, because then you can not only work on your whatever you are better at, but also on the thing that you think is going to work best. That's what I think is different.
Now, if you were to give advice to a young girl that's getting into the sport of arm wrestling, what would the three best workouts be for?
Okay, I think pull-ups with the ropes. They're good for your back, your hands and fingers, and I think that helped me a lot. Whenever I can do it easier, it's because I'm overall stronger. Obviously, like those simulating match exercises with the roll, the thing that rolls against your fingers. That's the one I did.
The finger handle. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that rolls against.
Yeah, attacks your fingers.
Yes. These two, and I don't know, maybe like pronating.
Pronation.
Yeah.
Now, what are you doing for your training right now in preparation for Worlds?
All of this. And yeah, and also bicep curls, and yeah, I don't change much of my training during the year, or if it's close to competition. What I change more, it's like intensity and volume, but I basically do pretty much the same exercises every day. Not every day, but like every year around. Sometimes I change a little bit if something's kind of weak or at some point needs to work more, but basically I do a lot of pull-ups in different grips. I do a lot of pronating with the strap and a lot of the finger handles. Basically, that's it.
Yeah, I've seen you on the ropes. You're pretty impressive, to say the least. Now, Gabby, I met you back in I think 2010 when you came to the US. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Now, was that your first time out here?
That was my first time there. Yeah. I spent 10 months there.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah, you and I actually had a match left-handed. Do you remember that?
Okay, that I don't remember. Sorry.
Yeah, we ended up arm wrestling left-handed. They let you into the men's division, and we ended up pulling left-handed. My right arm was injured, so I was just doing left. And I thought, yeah, okay, I'll let this chick hit on me. And boom, I was like, holy shit, she almost pinned me. It was something else. You're pretty impressive way back then. Now you're tenfold, you know?
Yeah. Back then I was training, like I had spent 2009, the whole year, not training at all. And when I moved there, I met Harold Ryden, and he got me training like once a week. And that's when we pulled. So I can say for sure that I'm much stronger now.
Yeah. No doubt.
Yeah, Gabby, so over the 21 years that you've been competing, what year was the most difficult for you to win?
to win. Wait. I can say that that's a trick question.
That's a tough one to think about, all those different
Yeah,
times.
because there were times that I had injuries nobody know, but looking at it, like, it didn't seem that difficult, but I knew that in my mind I was not in my best shape. That was like 2018, 2015, but
No,
I think
what year
like,
did you have the most stacked class? The most people in your class?
mhm. I think that was 2014 in Lithuania. I had like 19 girls in our class.
That's
And
a good class.
yeah, and it was so cool because they're all very good girls, and they were all like, I never really know much of my opponents, like especially by name. I get so confused with those European names, but then I had different opponents left and right. And I had a very good final match against Malin from Sweden, right-handed. And she was coming back from a long time without pulling. And I also was kind of coming back to being recognized. And I had won the year before, and people were starting to recognizing me. And that was my 20th world title. It meant a lot because of that. And also because there was like the biggest class I pulled in.
Yeah, that's a good class. 19 girls. It must have been a battle to get the victory.
Yeah. So Gabby, what do you think about like the differences between WAF or just traditional arm wrestling tables compared to the WAL arm wrestling table with the bigger pads, more padding? Did you like that? Do you prefer that over the traditional tables?
Well, as you guys could see, I don't think it worked well for me because I fall down twice. Anyway, but I like the WAF one better.
Yeah.
I think it's I don't know, actually. I could work myself out very good at the WAL ones, but I like the elbow pads, not so soft like WAL. So
You like
I think
the firmer pads.
yeah.
Yeah, we don't. We're
Biggest difference, like it's quite like the fact that they're longer, right?
yeah.
It could work. You could get some to get advantage, but I don't think I could. I use it in my favor because I like to press sideways. So if you were wider, I think I would. Yeah. I would like it more.
Yeah, they're like pillows. They're way too padded. There's not even cushions, not even the word used for that. That's just like a seat cushion.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you saw the recent match with Sarah over in Turkey. What's your take on that match?
Well, she's strong, and I've never doubted that, but I think she's full recovered, which is great for everyone. And I think that whenever I probably will face her, or whenever it happens, or whoever wants to pull her has to be very well trained. She's not playing around anymore, so
Not the same.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's very impressive. She could get herself back up very, very well.
Yeah, so there's the potential that you guys might see each other at the Worlds if they allow travel for both of you guys.
Yeah, that, and also Fia Razek it's organizing World Challenge in Sweden in December that we are both invited as well. So probably if doesn't happen at Worlds, will happen in December.
Is
Are
it
there any-
just women's?
Yeah, it's a round robin with 8 women's 80 kilo class.
Nice, that'd be good.
That
Any
would
other
be
any other names you can drop besides you and Sarah?
Fia and Marlene probably, and that's it. I actually never asked if I could answer that question if anyone asked me, but I maybe
Still speculation, people. Don't take it to heart if it doesn't happen.
Yeah. Well, they might be under contract, you never know.
or not.
Or not.
Have you pulled FIA before?
Yeah, twice actually. We've pulled at Worlds 2013, and she's so smart at the table. Like, I knew I was stronger, but she got win on me on the finals coming from the B side, and I didn't to figure out what happened. But then I got myself back up together and won. That was a very difficult one for me. And also I invited her to a super match here in Brazil at Arnold Classic 2017. She came and she was very strong, but again, I was stronger and I was able to beat her, but she got me training very hard so I could not let that happen again.
Yeah, she kept you focused.
Yeah. I don't ever underestimate any opponent. Like whenever I have like even a tournament, like even at Worlds, everyone keeps telling me, you already won, you already won. I was like, no, not at all. Look at these girls and I know how good they are. And
Yeah.
also everyone is training, right? If the same way I am, everyone is training harder and getting stronger. So I don't ever think of that. I don't ever think I've won already. And I don't ever underestimate anyone, especially at Worlds where everyone's there, it's their best country representatives, right? So they are there for some reason, not because just they're not weak at all. So it's very, and I feel that because I've won like a few years in a row, you become a target and people start to know like how you pull, and they study you the same way I study others.
Yep.
So I feel in my hands literally that each year they know better how to pull against me, but luckily not enough or not,
So you're
or I'm
still-
training,
you
but
have to
like
be evolving because you're still winning.
yeah, so yeah, but I also am training hard because I don't like losing. So knowing that whenever you're like everyone else's goal, you have to work even harder because if you want to stay there, right?
Absolutely. That's a good philosophy. Never take any of your opponents and underestimate them. You just never know who's coming in and what they got. You want to stay on your top point. Make sure you're ready for them.
Now, do you have
That's right.
a philosophy more towards table time or more towards gym time for training?
I think that table time,
I think we're losing you, Gabby. You good, Scott?
Yeah, she's just cutting in and out a little bit.
Yeah, we're losing her. Let's see if
She's gone.
no, I think it's just
There she is.
the
There we go.
signal.
We still got you.
Hey, there you are.
Okay. Yeah, so I was saying that I practice table time once a week, and sometimes when it's closer to a tournament or competition or whatever, two, because I feel too much sore. But I think that if you have a good recovery, you should do like at least twice a week.
So twice a week for table time. Well, Gabby, I appreciate having you on the show. We got to get you on the show again. And good
Yeah,
luck.
you look as beautiful as ever. You look strong. We wish you the best of luck, Worlds. And hopefully we'll see you out here in the US soon.
I don't think she needs luck at Worlds.
Damn, I'm wrestling
Oh, you
sports.
know what I mean.
I know. I appreciate it. That was a very good time. Whenever you guys want to talk a little bit more, just let me know. It's a pleasure to be at the best wrestling sports show.
You're awesome, Gabby.
Awesome.
Till next time.